Welcome, guys. It is official. FIFA has finally deducted all 3 points and 3 goals from South Africa. This is a decision that every other team, yes, in the Nigerian group has been waiting for to hear what is going to be the decision of FIFA regarding fielding an ineligible player in Teboho Mokoena against Lesotho. Even Ganato had to make comments regarding FIFA's action, same as the gaffer and Eric Shell, also asking what is the problem, why has FIFA not done what they were supposed to do, which is to deduct the points from South Africa, because of course Nigeria has also suffered the same fate, yes, in the past, and this is according to the FIFA laws of the game. This is something that is applicable to every single team. If you feed an ineligible player, even in club football, if you feed an ineligible player, you get penalized for it. I remember very well, vividly, that was Real Madrid at some point when Denis Cheryshev was still in the team, and Real Madrid fielded Denis Cheryshev. Guess what? It was even much more severe because the Association of Spanish Football had to eliminate Real Madrid from the Copa del Rey. They did not compete that season because they fielded Denis Cheryshev. I think that was under I think Rafa Benitez or thereabouts, yes, and Real Madrid were eliminated, yes, from the Copa del Rey. But this is international football, and the sanctions that will be given to South Africa was to deduct their points, and of course, yes, and their goals. An official statement that was put up by FIFA, and yes, today you can see it on your screen. And this was the statement that was put out by FIFA, yes, as regards this issue. You can see it right on your screen. You can put a pause, and of course, yes, read up everything said. But I think I'll take the most important part of this article. It talks about breaching the Article 19 of the FIFA Disciplinary Code and Article 14 of the FIFA World Cup 2026 preliminary competition regulations. And it also here, he said SAFA has also been ordered to pay a fine of 10,000 CHF is Swiss francs to FIFA, while Teboho Mokoena has been issued with a warning. And again, it says the forfeiture decision remains subject to potential appeal before the FIFA appeal committee, and they have 10 days in which to request a motivated decision, which if requested will subsequently be published on legal.fifa.com. So this simply means that South Africa still have a chance, of course, to appeal this decision with FIFA. Will FIFA be considering them or no? We do not know. Will South Africa also be going to appeal this decision by FIFA? We do not know. But for now, we all have to just analyze based on what we have, information we have at hand, and what are the chances of Nigeria going to the World Cup through an automatic ticket. That's which next. Now, this is the standings for the Nigerian group. But the question is, what are the chances of Nigeria actually qualifying for the World Cup? This table you're seeing here is after the deduction of South Africa's 3 points. Remember, they were on 17 points and 6 goals. But with the deduction of 3 points and of course 3 goals, they are now on 3 goals and 14 points. So when we look at this table, first of all, we have to establish the fact that the only team that is totally out of qualifying for the World Cup is Zimbabwe, because they have just 6 points to play for, of which even if they win the 6 points they have plus their 4 points, they have just 10 points. They wouldn't even be able to go above Rwanda. So Zimbabwe, they are totally out of the World Cup qualifiers. They are out. They are out, down and out. Then the people who have the chance of still being able to qualify for this World Cup is from Benin Republic to, of course, yes, Lesotho. Yes, I said Lesotho because Lesotho are on 9 points. They have 6 points to play. The highest point of the group is 14 points, which is Benin Republic and, of course, South Africa. So if Lesotho win their next 2 games, which is 6 points, they'll get 15 points. It depends on what Benin Republic and South Africa chooses to play. You understand? So they still have a chance. They'll move up a bit, we'll go to Rwanda. Rwanda has 11 points as well as Nigeria, but they have a lesser goal difference, which is no goals, while Nigeria has 2 goals, of course, difference with Rwanda. Now, what are the chances of Nigeria qualifying? What are the chances of South Africa qualifying? And what, of course, are the chances of Benin Republic qualifying. Looking at this table, we can see how tight it is from Rwanda down to Benin Republic. Now, this is where it all gets funny, right? Nigeria will be playing against the likes of Lesotho and of course Benin Republic, while South Africa will be playing against Zimbabwe and Rwanda. Then Benin Republic last 2 games will be of course Rwanda and Nigeria. Now, when you look at these fixtures, first of all, automatic qualification for Nigeria, is it possible? Yes. Are the chances big? No. The chances are still very slim, despite the fact that the points were reduced, of course, because the chance Nigeria had to qualify for this World Cup, they were the ones who actually threw them away. I mean, they draw against Zimbabwe, they draw against Lesotho, they draw against South Africa. As even Nigeria beat South Africa, with this 3-point deduction, it would have been 13 points with South Africa. But now, they are on 11 points, South Africa is on 14 points. Now, look at the games Nigeria have. Nigeria play against Lesotho. Yes, and Lesotho, they will play away against Lesotho. Will Nigeria be able to win Lesotho? Now, let us say Nigeria beats Lesotho. South Africa will play against Zimbabwe. That game, trust me, is one game that, if you ask me, is something that is it's a very winnable game for South Africa. A very, very winnable game for South Africa. Zimbabwe, they are the least in the group. They are out. They have absolutely nothing to lose. But this is where it gets interesting. Now, South Africa will be playing against Zimbabwe. Have you asked where South Africa, have you asked where Zimbabwe play their home games in those qualifiers? It gets more interesting here. Let me show you something. Now, Zimbabwe home games is being played in South Africa at Durban. Yes, because it does not have a national stadium that meets CAF standards. South Africa will be playing against Zimbabwe, technically away, but of course we know that they are still playing it inside of South Africa. This is something that other teams will have been protesting against early. There are other countries they can go to and play. It mustn't be in South Africa. You can't be playing against your own opponents in the same country. But that is a story for another day. Now, South Africa will have to play against Zimbabwe. Now, look at their home stadium. They play all their home games in South Africa. And South Africa is meant to play away. So technically, when you look at it, South Africa actually have 2 home games to play. Yes, they have 2 home games to play. One is against Zimbabwe, which is technically away, but we all know that that's still a home game because they're going to play that game in Durban. Back to their next game, which is going to be the final game that will decide who goes to the World Cup. Is going to be against Rwanda. Now, let us put it this way. Nigeria beats Lesotho, South Africa beats Zimbabwe, and Benin Republic beats Rwanda. Then it goes to the last day. Who is going to be able to win their games to qualify? On the last day, it will be down to Nigeria and Benin Republic. Anybody who wins might end second or end first. But what about the game between South Africa and Rwanda? Nigeria will be hoping on the result against Rwanda. That Rwanda gets a result against South Africa, at least hold them to a draw. That will keep them on 18 points. Because when they win their next game, 17 points, and they get a draw, that will be 18 points. Nigeria wins their next game. Nigeria gets how many points? We get 14 points. We win our last game. We get how many points? 17 points. We can only get 17 points. So what South Africa need to qualify is just a win and a draw. And they will be above Nigeria first of all. So if you check this very well, it actually favors more of Benin Republic and South Africa, not Nigeria. Because a draw and a win takes South Africa or Benin Republic to the World Cup. But Nigeria now have to fight against the likes of Benin Republic on the last day. If Nigeria beats Benin and beats Lesotho, they can only get 17 points in this group. But South Africa just needs a win and a draw. And South Africa, these are winnable games for South Africa, trust me. So what I'm trying to say in this video is Nigerians pipe down. We'll just have to hope and see what Zimbabwe will do for Nigeria. If Zimbabwe can be able to hold South Africa to a draw, they will take it to the final day against Rwanda. Can Rwanda be able to hold South Africa to a draw as well? So you can see that going to the World Cup, of course, is very, very slim for Nigeria. And any second to go for the Continental is even more difficult. And I'll tell you why in my next video. My name is Sugochuri Fanye, also known as a live radio. Some people call me White to see me. Peace and God bless you. Bye-bye.